Welcome to Double Standards with me, Afshin Ratansi. So last week it was Europe that took out Press TV. This week the United States Office of Foreign Assets Control tried to shut down other TV channels. Free speech? We investigate. Coming up in the show, we go to one of the most militarized zones on Earth and discover Gangnam Style. Our reporter Leicester Square tries to talk to the head of the BBC, and after a murky alliance between the EU and private TV satellite companies bans this TV channel, we speak to Patrick Henningsen from 21st Century Wire about the implications of ending free speech in Europe. Well, some of our viewers will be watching this on YouTube, others watch it on cable, and some watch it via the umpteen satellites broadcasting this show around the world. But for those of you in Europe trying to get it via satellite, you have a problem. The European Commission has decreed that Europeans must not see this or any other show on this channel. With me to talk about the broadcast ban is Patrick Henningsen from 21st Century Wire. Welcome back, Patrick.
Thanks, Afshin.
I mean, so swiftly after winning the Nobel Peace Prize, this is what happens. What are your thoughts?
Well, I was kind of shocked because I know that sanctions have been agreed upon by most of Europe and the United States against Iran. And this is an unprecedented extension of sanctions. This is cutting communications effectively. And I think it doesn't take a genius to speculate where this is leading. Obviously, with the past conflicts, military conflicts, the U.S. has had total control of the media, particularly in Iraq, only allowing embedded journalists in, etc. It would be very embarrassing if they were to have a military standoff in the future with Iran, to have reports coming out on Press TV daily of civilian casualties and all these things that we never saw in Iraq. They have had their eyes on Press TV. The establishment, if you will, has had its eyes on Press TV for a long time, and they're going to take it off the air by hook or crook. In this country, Ofcom has used very spurious allegations against Press TV in order to have it removed from Sky, for instance. Something that, you know, if you look at some of the other networks, if we really want to talk about integrity in media and who should be pulled off the air, we don't have to look much farther than, let's say, CNN. Here's a good example. CNN was running fake newscasts out of Syria with a British agent named Danny Dayam. Staged kind of newscast with sound effects. It's all there for everyone to see online. And also CNN has been caught red-handed doing this in...
CNN did admit that they were fake. Though,
and in Saudi Arabia in the first Gulf War. Embarrassing. BBC used photographs, misrepresented photographs. I mean, this is blatantly misrepresenting fact and creating fiction. And certainly that would be grounds to lose your broadcasting license. Now also the BBC, interestingly enough, has had an internal cover-up of a rampant, systematic, institutional pedophile problem at the BBC and in the entertainment industry. So for a public broadcaster to shut down an internal investigation in a free country like Britain, wouldn't you think that at least people wouldn't want to pay their TV license, I would imagine.
Many have commentated that if it was a newspaper where a leading person at a newspaper was found to be allowed, in effect, to abuse children for so many years, the newspaper would probably close down.
So, you know, the reason I'm saying this is to put it into perspective. Press TV is a media outlet. It's doing good journalism as far as many people and a lot of commentators have really applauded Press TV, especially in places like Syria, where the mainstream media, the corporate Western media's coverage is very skewed towards favoring the Free Syrian Army and the Al-Qaeda, Western-funded terrorist sides, as opposed to the Assad government. Press TV just had one of its chief bureau correspondents in Damascus. And I'm not very squeamish about saying that I believe that it was a targeted assassination. He's a very well-known face in Damascus.
It was a sniper.
It was a sniper. And so that's really saying we're shutting down certain media and only allowing other media. So if the public allows Press TV to be shut down in this way, then the next is Russia Today. They'll shut that down one day. Then the next is going to be the internet. And then the next is Channel 4. until you have nothing left but maybe one or two media outlets in the whole of
I suppose
the
the
country.
neoliberal or liberal argument is that press TV, okay, but it presents the other argument without giving due prominence to other arguments in any given foreign policy situation.
Well, this is an interesting point because, we live in a bubble. And a lot of times, until you remove yourself from that bubble, you don't even know you're living in a bubble, in a kind of an information prison in the West. If you travel to America, you can really see it after living in Britain. And I came out to defend Press TV last year during the Ofcom incident, and I stand by that because it's the first domino. If you let the first domino go, everything can fall after that. And
but no one's covering it. And we've got to remember that there are MPs, the former mayor of London, etc., who all work for different programs that are on Press TV.
Press TV is a thorn in the side of the European establishment because it's letting information out from places like Iran, from Syria, from all over the Middle East, from Central America. I've seen Press TV reporters all over the world doing great documentaries, and that's what media is. You should be able to make content that doesn't fit into a narrow band of public policy coming out of Westminster or coming out of Washington, D.C. And I think Russia Today has excelled, Press TV has excelled in those departments. And that's why their ratings are skyrocketing. And if you ban Press TV, people will still find a way to watch it online. They will fight to find it on streaming. I can watch television shows out of America I'm not supposed to watch in Britain through streaming networks. And that's all they're going to do is drive it underground and make it more popular, and it's going to make the information more powerful. And so it could be an own goal by the European Commission. There's another side to this. Another angle is the NAM meeting in Tehran a few months ago looked like, in my eyes and a lot of other pundits' eyes, as a success, an international success. In other words, a competing international meeting where voices and opinions and analysis of a paradigm in the geopolitical arena in that region can be discussed without the overwhelming pressure of the United States in New York City at the UN overbearing over the Security Council and any debate there. So NAM was successful. Could this latest move be a retaliation? Because obviously there's a wave of awareness that's increasing on the globe. And Press TV and Russia Today, and there's lots of countries that will catch on to the soft power trend and start their own international English language news media to influence public opinion in places like America, Canada, and the middle class Britain and Europe. And so the voters in these countries are going to look at their leaders and say, why do we want to attack Iran militarily? Why? These are people just like us, going about their daily business, want to live normal lives, want their kids to go to school, get married, and get a good job, and have nice families. Same as this country and any other country.
Thank you, Patrick Henningsen from 21st Century Wire.
Thanks, Ash.
Now it's time for People of Britain. Let's go to our roaming reporter. Time for our special section, People of Britain. Over to you, Leicester Square. Yes, Afshin, it's Leicester Square here, and we've got a surprise for you today. I've secured an interview with the Director General of the BBC at his new offices here in central London. We're going to see what all this child necrophilia, all the gambling, everything, whatever the scandal is. Anyway, I'm going to do it now.
Hello?
Yes, hello? Yes, I've got an interview with the Director General of the BBC.
Wrong address.
Well, no, it's definitely the right address. I've got it here.
Oh, wait, wrong address.
Oh. Could it be another number?
Hello?
Hello, I've got an appointment with the Director General of the BBC.
Go away, Leicester Square, you crazy reporter.
Anyway, it's People of Britain time. The BBC has said that it stands for Bonking British Children, not British Broadcasting Corporation. What's your view on
That's
it?
a bit drastic, isn't it? I don't believe that for a
They
minute.
said the clue is in the name, so they have nothing to apologise for.
All right, well, no, I disagree. I think that's wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
But Rupert Murdoch hid a necrophilia scandal up before, and now Jimmy Savile's being accused of that as well. Do you think it's all the BBC's fault or Rupert Murdoch as well?
I think Rupert Murdoch.
The BBC, they've just said the clue is in the name. It stands for Bonking British Children. What do you think about the BBC, the British Broadcasting?
It's cool. Yes, that's good. Yes, it's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
If James Bond was to run against Romney and Obama in the coming US elections, would you vote for him?
Yes, definitely. Who wouldn't?
Why?
Because he's British.
Surely after the MI6 revelations about drones this week?
Yeah, but James Bond isn't real, is he?
James Bond is thinking of running against Romney and Obama. Do you think you'd vote for him?
I'd vote for Canada. I heard Canada was running against Bush last time and almost won.
The entire nation of Canada.
Yeah.
Yes.
They would have made a great president.
James Bond thinking of running against Romney and Obama. A good idea?
Good, yeah, brilliant idea.
BBC defending itself against the allegation, saying that actually the clue is in the name. They stand for bonking British children, not British Broadcasting Corporation. Is that really a valid defence?
Well, I think the BBC do not have a leg to stand on. I think they've been caught in a bad situation, reflecting there's something deeply wrong with that institution to allow something what we've seen to happen for so long. I think action needs to be happening in the BBC. I think people need to resign, and I think they need a clean-cut approach to modernise themselves, to make themselves a relevant broadcaster in Britain again.
Oh, no! The BBC is a British institution. I'm really cross about that. Bunking. No, who said that?
The BBC are defending themselves against all the abuse allegations by saying they stand for bonking British children. A good defence?
Yes,
You think?
I like.
There you have it, Afshin, the voices of the people of Britain. It turns out George Entwistle, Director General of the BBC, wasn't in that building earlier after all. He was down here. Yes, down this drain with all the rest of BBC management. So it looks like next week I'll have to go down to the sewer to meet all of the BBC management, the British Bonking Company staff. See you next week. Thanks, Lester. See you next week in the sewer for more people of Britain. You can email us at comment@doublestandardstv.com.